Collaboration is a new currency, and we are not an island unto ourselves. We have to collaborate with each other, even if it's just to encourage, just to give encouragement to another sister.
So I really wanted to bring things to the magazine that makes you really think about your home, your office, especially when, most people are working at home now. You almost gotta love your space. You're there all the time for the most part.
Welcome to our Be Well magazine interview series featuring the phenomenal contributors of the Be Well Spring 2021 issue. My name is Crystal Thompson. You may know me as the editor-in-chief of this extraordinary publication. Thank you all for tuning in. And let me shout out that my team is here with me. A warm welcome to our founder of the Be Well brand, Ms. Carmen Ray. Carmen, you out there?
I am right here. You're coming through beautifully and loud and clear. And I'm so excited about this opportunity to be collaborating with you, Crystal. You being the editor-in-chief of Be Well magazine has absolutely elevated our game. You're such a shining example of what it means when we say over and over again here in the Be Well community that collaboration is the new currency. See, there's just some things that we are good or we're mediocre, but when we align ourselves with people that this is fully their passion and their purpose, it's all kind of amazing things that can happen as a result of that. And that's exactly what you've been able to bring to the Be Well magazine. Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen. Carmen, thank you. And I really feel like these interviews, they add a well-deserved exclamation point to the spring issue. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Our contributors have really been able to take the themes that you have created, and they've been able to customize the message that's so definitive of what it means to be well in business. The ladies that you're going to hear from today is going to be such an example of that. You guys just wait until you hear from our two contributors today. You're going to hear some amazing information from both Shauna Weatherspoon and Linda Michelle.
Absolutely. Yes. So listen up, everyone. Today we have yet two magnificent women that bring undeniable energy to the Be Well community. And we are over the moon that they have taken time from their busy schedules to visit with us. So if you would, please welcome Ms. Shauna Weatherspoon and Ms. Linda Michelle Trainer. We are so very happy to sit with you this evening. How are you guys doing?
Sensational. Thank you. It's such an honor to be here.
Couldn't be in a better place.
Awesome. Thank y'all again for being here. And so this time, I want you guys both to know is dedicated to highlighting each of you and your brands. And we certainly appreciate you both having this conversation with Carmen and me and with the audience. So with that, I typically begin with a question that will allow everyone who is watching to open the magazine, turn to both of your features, and feel well connected to you and your brand. So let's start with you, Shauna. Shauna, who is Shauna Weatherspoon?
I would tell people when I get that question, that is a loaded question. That is a very, very loaded question. But in essence, I always, when I'm in any speaking engagement, if I'm doing anything that I just love to do, I always say I am Shauna CEO Weatherspoon, kind of like how Miss Linda Michelle gave us her name. That is who I am. I wake up and I tell myself that every morning. And what that just means for me personally, it means I have a say. I have a say in how I build my business, my brand, the things that I'm passionate about, how I live my life day in and day out. I got some skin in the game. So we always have choices is what that comes down to. Another way I describe myself, I always say I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and I'm a boss. And as we know, with many people being in the community that we're all involved in, we wear a lot of hats as women. So I always have learned through the years to keep those separate because they're all so important. And so I don't get lost in just being one thing. Like we can really figure out a way in being well and how to do that all. So that's just me in a nutshell. And I do believe every day that it can all get done. And I strive towards it every single day just to empower girls and women around the world, to move family forwards in my business, and just to always, if I don't love doing it, I want no parts of it at this point in life. So that's where I'm at. I'm a woman with a made up mind at this point.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And Miss Linda Michelle, can you tell us who you are?
I am my sister's sister, Shauna. I love that introduction. I am Linda Michelle Trainer, global encourager, beloved of God, inspirational speaker, best-selling author, certified transformational coach. And in addition, I am the director and founder of a not-for-profit organization helping healing and preventing sexual abuse in families. I'm the founder and CEO of a personal development company. I'm also blessed to be a wife of 31 years, a bonus mom, godmom, daughter, sister, niece, cousin, and friend. I am truly, truly blessed. My passion and expertise is in the areas of helping busy women in marriage, healing and prevention of sexual abuse in families, especially self-care when caring for a loved one with dementia, when they're balancing their own home, just to help bring that balance and strength to our sisters. That's who I am.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you. And so, Linda Michelle, when you were preparing to write your article for the spring issue, I especially enjoyed the 14 care points that you talked about. But I would love to know, and I'm going to ask Shauna this as well, I would love to know how you came up with the idea for your article to tie it in with the theme, go bigger, go brighter, and go beyond. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
I can, and it's a pleasure too. My background is from healing from adrenal fatigue. And it was because I did not take care of myself. I had an integrative doctor give me a prescription for what I was supposed to do, and I was too busy to follow it. I ended up being in the emergency room, misdiagnosed, sent to a mental hospital for 13 days. And it was the worst, best thing that ever happened to me. But through that, I learned that self-care is so important. Your well-being is the prerequisite for the well-being of those around you. Just like those, the oxygen mask, when we're on the airplane, we're told to put on our oxygen mask before we help someone next to us. But the key is that we have to keep that oxygen mask on until we reach a safe atmosphere. And a lot of times we don't keep it on. So in thinking about going bigger, going brighter, it was a no-brainer. We have to take care of ourselves. You are your greatest asset. So we have to handle with care. Going through a healing time with my mother, who has full-blown Alzheimer's, and some other family members, it is imperative for us to share what we know and what we learn. And I was just so excited to share that, again, we are our best assets and we have to handle it with care.
Mm-hmm. Very, very nice. Very nice. Thank you for that. And interestingly, Shauna, your article brought about, I'm going to say, lots of oohs and ahs regarding living space and workspace. And so when you were crafting your article, what types of motivation, how did you get to what you submitted?
You know what? Well, for one, I obviously love decorating. That's just, if I could just do that and put some pretty plates on the table every day, that's probably what I would do. and have garden parties and patio parties. So I'm just truly, truly passionate about it. And I am a true believer of loving where you live. It's so important. I think from the time someone walks up to your doorstep, they know and get a feeling about how they're going to feel when they're in your space. So it should be a reflection of you. I've always loved Black art. And I can say too, a lot of times, especially since we live in the world that we live in over the last year or so, I really got bolder in the respect of, no, I'm going to show you how we live every day, meaning people who look just like me. And we are just as fabulous and wonderful and do all of the things just like everybody else. And I think there's always been such pride within our communities and families and history anyway. But I think a lot of times you don't see that publicly, quite frankly, unless you're in that space. So I really wanted to bring things to the magazine that makes you really think about your home, your office, especially when, most people are working at home now. You almost gotta love your space. You're there all the time for the most part. So, and
Right.
it should brighten you up. So I think and it feels organic. It feels like me and our audience, I believe. So I think that's what's special about it for me.
So let me ask you this. So
Mm-hmm.
Shauna and Melinda Michelle, both of you honestly are talking about self-care.
Mm-hmm.
So Shauna, when you think about self-care strategies, how do you turn what you do into a self-care strategy? And Linda, the same for you. How do the things that you talk about in terms of self-care, how does that apply to your home space and your workspace?
So for me, my home space, this is the most sacred place in the world for me, like many people. My backyard is my retreat, and I do not play about it. I am so serious about it. I'm actually working on it again as we speak. But where that came from, for me, I was not in a good place a few years ago. I had lost some family members who were very, very close to me. And before that happened, I was highly successful in my business as a real estate broker. We owned a home inspection company, and I ran a mortgage branch. And when I that particular home was in Wisconsin before we relocated to Illinois, where we live now. But I love this house so much. Just thought this was it for us. We would never buy another house. And I was working my butt off 24/7, stressed out, over 100 pounds heavier than I am today. And what I realized is I never lived there. I didn't live there. I took a nap there. It was not at all I'm like, you do all of this work, but you don't get to enjoy your home. So I swore that the next house that we moved into, I would live in every space of it. And I do. So for me, that is my self-care. That self-care Sundays, I don't play about that. I'm usually always doing something with my feet up or something, and just loving being in it, and making sure everybody feels that presence when they come to our home.
That's
Thank
phenomenal.
you. And Linda Michelle, what would you say?
I would say that my number one self-care motto is fill your cup and overflow so that you can serve from your saucer. To me, that means give yourself everything you need. Unplug the telephone, turn off the computer and recharge so that when you come back to your duties, that you have enough to give and overflow, and you're not giving everything. I love what Shauna said about living in every space of your home. We have to live life to our fullest. And if we are not equipped, if we're not rested, if we are not mentally focused on dealing with ourselves, how are we going to deal with anybody else? Right. So I love to fill my cup, first of all, just blocking out everything, taking much needed bubble baths with books, and then just exercising, making sure that I get my annual mental, physical, and dental checkups, and then following what my doctor said. Like I said earlier, going through a period in 2007 where I was just totally stressed out, had the directions from a physician, but was too busy to adhere to it. And then my butt ended up in a mental hospital, but I don't have time, but I don't have the all the money, but I don't have this. I let go of all the buts, and I am starting to honor me. Like Shauna said, I am me. I am a gift from God to the world, and to me, God has given us life and life more abundantly. And we have to start with us so that we can be the temple and the vessel for the Holy Spirit to work through. So that self-care for me, it's all about starting with overflowing yourself, filling yourself up to the overflow so that you can serve from your saucer.
Wow, you ladies really, really dropped some nuggets. You dropped some nuggets. I absolutely want to just highlight a couple of my takeaways. When Shauna said living and loving where you are, like wherever you are. And that's just so important for women as we navigate this entrepreneurial space. And then what I really received from Linda Michelle's commentary is filling our cup and having overflow, because so many times as entrepreneurs, especially if we are in any type of leadership capacity, it's just impossible to give to others when we haven't properly and consistently restored ourselves. So thank you, ladies, so much for sharing that. So that's going to be a perfect segue to my question. I'm going to stick with Linda Michelle first. I'm anxious to get your response. What does it mean to you to be a part of the Be Well community? And what is it to truly, for women entrepreneurs, to be well in business?
This is a perfect example of what it means to be a part of the Be Well community, being able to collaborate, talking to firsthand with Miss Shauna, and then being able to see the behind the scenes with Crystal and Michael, learning, growing, being able to edify myself so that I can edify others. It is so important. The first thing that you said to me, besides your pampering, your love for pampering, Carmen, was that collaboration is a new currency. And we are not an island unto ourselves. We have to collaborate with each other, even if it's just to encourage, just to give encouragement to another sister, to give a tip. I am so thankful for the Tech Tuesdays that Michael gives. And I found out that through the Be Well community. So there are so many, many gems here. There's so many nuggets, so much wisdom to learn. And it's not only just for ourselves. I've learned a lot of things that I can share with other people. So being a part of the Be Well community means giftings, that abundant giftings from so many different areas. Just being able to be in a space where I can grow and help others grow. I'm blessed to be a blessing to be here.
Wow, we're so excited and grateful to have you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Shauna, for you, what does it mean? You have like serious history with Be Well community. Shauna, remember when we first started, she was such an instrumental part and an investor in one of our first initiatives well over 10 years ago, maybe even 12 now, because our children were so young. That was the mother-daughter weekend that we put together, and she was so instrumental in that. So what does it mean, fast forward to where we are in 2021, Shauna? What does the Be Well community mean for you? And how important is it for women entrepreneurs to be connected with community, the community and the platforms that we've established here with Be Well?
I feel like, well, a few things. First of all, kudos to you and the entire team, because I have seen it all. And every time I hear Be Well with this connection, all I think of is all is well. All is well. If people only knew, especially as entrepreneurs, all that you go through to be who we are and do the work that we do. I mean, we are some of the most selfless people in the world. So many times, and I'm guilty of that as well. It's like, okay, whether I'm leading a team or leading myself, it could get very lonely at times with people have moving all over the place. And I feel in many ways more connected than ever because of the community.
Wow.
So I think that's huge. And just to see how it has evolved over the years, like how I just get goosebumps, because how exciting is that? And just to see, I mean, like I said, I don't know if I'm looking at Forbes, I don't know if I'm looking at Essence magazine, every issue, I'm like, what? So it's just to give that, to feed into others, to pour into others, from, our nonprofit, just to all of our expertise. It's just such a beautiful flow throughout. So I'm honored.
Wow. Thank you so much. Both of you ladies are contributing so much, and it's so appreciated by us, between Michael and Crystal, but also the Be Well community, the feedback I'm getting from your articles and just how you ladies show up. I'm excited about expanding it, because of course we got expanding ideals happening from our advisory team. So Linda Michelle mentioned one of our taglines and commitments is collaboration is the new currency. And I was sharing with one of my projects and teams this morning warning that we cannot close what we have not exposed. So many times as entrepreneurs, we are just like kind of back in the cut, not really, bad and bold about what it is that we do and our expertise and what do we have coming up. So let's use this time, Shauna, let's stay right here with you. What projects, what services do you offer that the Be Well community may be in need of? Anything that you have going on with your nonprofit, what's happening in your real estate game, and you're all about building wealth for families. So just share with us what some of those projects are, please.
Thank you. Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity and the platform to share that. I am the founder and president of Raising Our Daughters Foundation, which is all about honoring girls around the globe and women. We do that through workshops. We give away scholarships. I just gave a nurse $1,000 today on her down payment on her house. So we have all kinds of things going on like that we would love. I just really, really believe you have to educate and inform. I'm really big on that. So whatever I can do to help spread the word on what you got to do to build wealth for you and your family and fire your landlord. Of course, I want to figure out a plan for that for you. And then build wealth. Once you build wealth, you have to protect it. So we do that through our life insurance business. So we have that as well as the real estate. And then, of course, just our decorating, just tips. Continue to read, continue to share it. I would love to hear some of the feedback as well. I've heard it from a few people, but I can only imagine what you all have coming in from all the articles. So I would say just keep building, and whatever ways we can continue to support you, of course, we want to do that.
Wonderful. I so appreciate that. Linda Michelle, talk to me. Tell me a little bit about what do you have coming up. I know that you are really committed to the caregiver population. We have so many women. We just recently finished an update to our business plan, and demographically, we know that the majority of the women as part of the Be Well community is over 45. So that is getting us prepared for us to be caregivers of our parents or other relatives, grandparents. So I know that you are really committed to that work, but tell us more about any products, programs, or services that you have that the Be Well community may need to take advantage of.
Thank you, Carmen. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned before, I also am the founder and director of a not-for-profit organization called Elegant Doves International. It is for women and teen girls and their families, helping to heal and prevent sexual abuse in families. A part of that is that a lot of mothers have been abused and they've not taken the time to heal. And that way the cycle continues. So one of the areas that we do is just to help insert the prevention aspect along with the healing, and we overlap with self-care. Because again, if you as that person the head of your pack, the head of your family are not well, if you don't have on your oxygen mask, you're not being able to help anyone else. So I'm very excited about that. I have an upcoming book that's going to offer strategies for healing and prevention and just testimonies that it is possible to heal regardless of what you've gone through. And then, of course, my Be Encouraged LLC, which is a personal development company, helping, again, busy women, especially, to fortify their strength and their energy so that they can be on top of their game, so that they can help care for others. I have a bi-weekly video podcast, Living in Courage with Linda Michelle. That's I in courage, because the courage is inside of us. And a lot of times we're looking outside. Absolutely, we have to collaborate, but in that collaboration, we have to bring something to the game, because if we're not speaking, if we're not sharing, no one is going to be able to share or understand what we need to better plant seeds and water where we are. So my bi-weekly video podcast, Living Encouraged with Linda Michelle, helps to awaken the silence of hope and silence the noise of hopelessness. So I am just so thrilled to be able to be here and to interact with the Be Well community. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I'm wondering if you'd like to take a moment just to tell us what you have. You've told us about your brands, anything that you have in store, anything that you'd like in terms of if someone wants to reach out to you and get some of your expertise, how can they touch base with you? How can they reach out to you? Shauna, would you start with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am really big on Facebook. I'm highly active there. So I would love to connect at Shauna CEO at Weatherspoon on Facebook. My email address is weatherspoongroup@msn.com, and everybody in the world has my phone number, so I'm okay with sharing that as well. It's 414-507-7653. So do something for yourself. Do something just for you. So that's what I'm excited about and coming up. And personally, we were sharing just before we started, got 2 graduations coming up. So I'm going to take that in. I'm just going to take that in and sit back.
Awesome.
And be well.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Linda Michelle?
I am in the middle of a Fortify You respite coaching for women. You can find out more information by emailing me, lindamichelle@lindamichelle.com. I'm also on Facebook, Linda Michelle Trainer, the Global Encourager. I'm also on Twitter. But my website, lindamichelletrainer.com, is one of the best places to reach me. Michael's going to help me upgrade it, but it is enough information where you can grasp a feel of what I do and how I can best serve you.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So thank you all. If you're listening live when we first released this amazing interview, or if you catch the replay on YouTube, just remember, we want you to continue to be well connected, to be well informed, and to be well inspired. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to share.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you all.